Welcome to the Fulcrum Democracy Forum. I'm Hugo Balta, Executive Editor with the Fulcrum, a daily cross-partisan news publication that engages citizens in evolving government to better meet the needs of all people. To that end, we strive to share many perspectives to widen our readers' viewpoints. For this episode, I'm joined by Anusha Harid-Paoletti, the CEO of Elevate Network. Elevate's mission is to make work for all, to create a world where everyone belongs by helping women thrive at work. Welcome to the program, Anusha.
Thank you for having me, Hugo.
You had me at where everyone belongs. Tell me more about Elevate and the work that you lead.
Elevate Network has been around for close to 3 decades. We have a reach of 200,000 plus women across the globe. So it's a chapter structure. I think that's part of our secret sauce for enduring for so long, across 31 cities, across the globe. And we are in the business of making work for everyone, work for all.
You're the CEO of Elevate. Tell me, what was your interest in joining Elevate and the work that Elevate does and the need for an organization that's providing greater visibility and voice to the members that you serve?
So I have been in financial services for close to 2 decades, and that is a different realm. But Elevate's calling to me is its mission. Its mission is so elegant and simple, yet so much work remains to be done. And the actual superpower of this network are the women and men that drive, the convening, that actually show up to events, that think about content. And that's where the magic truly lies in the network. And it's an in real life network, Hugo. So I think there is something about that is a calling. And thinking about the fact that we have 50 plus corporate partners that we speak to, what we really can address, and where we have standing to speak to both our network, the people in our network, and our companies, is the fact that what is needed in the workplace for everyone who is earn their spot to truly succeed. And that is it's a passion project. It's a calling.
Yeah. And I think one of the keys to success is diversity. And I was really struck by the column that you wrote for the Fulcrum, titled, "Even Without the Acronym, Diverse Workforces Thrive." You focused on President Donald Trump's executive order on diversity, equity, and inclusion. Tell us more about the piece that you wrote.
It's data driven. Arguably, it makes the commercial case for why workplaces that are inclusive, meritocratic, dynamic, diverse have better outcomes. And I won't requote some of the statistics, but the one that I think speaks to it at the highest level is the fact that boards that have gender diversity are 27% more likely to outperform financially. And again, from my financial services lens, the data speaks volumes, Hugo.
One of the things that strikes me about the pushback in regards to DEI, not just with the Trump administration, but what we've seen in the last couple of years, is the fact that if I have a conversation with someone that's just about diversity, not as diversity, equity, and inclusion, but when I talk about diversity, they don't have any negative feedback about diversity. They see diversity as a positive. Similarly, when I talk about the word equity and the word inclusion, there isn't a problem. But it is of late, and when I say of late, the last maybe 2-3 years, it's been weaponized. DEI has been weaponized. And from a positive to a negative, what other than political leanings, why do you think that has happened?
I am in agreement with you. I think the core principles are still needed and arguably something that people want. It's still wanted. The core principles of all the words that form the acronym are still wanted. And I'll pick something from the mandate itself that caught my eye, which was, and I'll quote, federal agencies are directed to promote in the private sector the policy of individual initiative, excellence, and hard work. I don't think anybody disagrees with that. And I think that, in fact, those are universal goals, desirable goals for the private sector. And the continuation of that is that exceptional employees can come from any background. So it serves that goal. So I think you're exactly right in that the underpinning support exists. So I really want to direct my gaze as to, well, where is the commonality? Where do we build from?
That I also think that as someone who's worked in this space, both directly with different organizations that I've worked for, media organizations, and also as a DEI practitioner and trainer, I think also the issue has been that many of the initiatives, all well-intentioned, um, really weren't inclusive of everyone, because a lot of what I experienced was DEI from the optics of what that is, and not enough about the things that are not readily seen when it comes to diversity, equity, and inclusion. And that has to do with education. It has to do with upbringing, where you grew up. It has to do with a myriad of things. And for me, that means being married, having two adult children, being the son of an immigrant of immigrants from Peru. Now, you in your column, you shared that your family immigrated to the United States from India after spending your childhood in the United Kingdom and Dubai. You're a graduate of the Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania and worked in financial services at Goldman Sachs for 10 years until you launched a financial technology company in 2017. Those are all of the things that, when I think about diversity, equity, and inclusion, come into play. Tell us about your upbringing and education and how that influence and inspires, fuels the work that you lead today.
Thank you for that, Hugo. And you're exactly right. And what I remember vividly was that my family and I really wanted to move to the US. It was the ultimate aspirational goal for my family. We had lived in other countries, we had immigrated before, but coming to the US was the goal. And I still hold on to this childlike delight with this country. It's the innovation, it's the activity, it's the fact that there's constant advancement. I'm the founder of a financial technology company. Like, that is the kind of thing that happens here. It happens in other places, but not at the scale, not at the actual, true cutting edge. And that goal, that dream still inspires everything that my family and I do. And I think that's quite common. And I'm sure if we talk about your experiences, there must be some of that as well. And I'll come back to that word innovation. Innovation happens because you are constantly, rubbing up against I'll start it again there. Your innovation happens because you're constantly, interacting with the best and the brightest from all backgrounds. That is a necessary condition. That is the cauldron for innovation. I live in New York City. I feel that way about my city as well. It's the osmosis. It's the fact that you're interacting with people that are really at the very best in their field. That is, for me, the reason why I say diversity is intertwined with success.
Is there anything that we haven't talked about that you think we should touch upon before we say goodbye?
There's something very measurable, magical that happens when people convene, when they get together. And at Elevate, we are in the business of bringing people together. Workplaces achieve that too. You and I are convening on remotely at the moment, but I think the fact that workplaces benefit from all of these people that employers spend tremendous amount of effort hiring and care to retain, when they come together from all their backgrounds, that is really, I think, when you're able to find that incremental, competitive, arguably, uncharted territory that's when you're able to actually get marginal incremental improvement. And I think that is measurable. Uh, Data scientists have been tracking that, and we can have numerous citations for what that data looks like, but it's measurable.
Anusha Harid-Paoletti, CEO of Elevate, thank you so much for your time and insights.
Thank you, Hugo. I appreciate it.
And thank you all for spending this time with us as well. Conversation and collaboration nurture a well-informed citizenry. Hasta la próxima.